Okay, so next I'm going to create the straw. So it's going to be a two-part straw that has like the holes in between. So I'm going to go to the plus here, and I'm going to go to the um, geometry, standard primitives, and I want to create a tube. Now, very important, make sure this tube, make sure you, from when you draw the top, you go downwards for the height, not upwards. Um, there's a common problem that happens when people try to connect the hose, and I think that it's caused because they make the tubes going up instead of down. So I'm going to left click, drag, let go, drag it in to get the thickness, let click, left click, and then go down to get my height. And the height that I'm doing now is the height that's where it should go down into the straw going down into the cup. So I want that to be somewhat long. All right, now I'm going to make another tube. Let's note the radius here. So we have, I'm going to make this even number so I can remember. So let's just make this 13 and make that 11. And then height can be right there. So I'm going to make another tube. Left click, drag, let go, click, drag down, click. Now I'm going to make my radius the same, 13, 11. Let's make this a little bit bigger. But as long as the radiuses match up, and we can always change that height later if it doesn't look good. And again, I went down for both of these. All right, so now I'm going to create a hose. So I'm going to switch this from standard primitives to extended primitives. Hose. Left click and drag. Try to get it to about the same size, but we can always change that. Let go. Drag up and down. It'll go the same way for this. It doesn't matter. So, and then left click. And there's my hose. So now we're going to go bound to object pivots, pick top object, and I'm going to click on the shorter straw, pick bottom object, click on the longer straw, and there you see it connects the hose to the straw. And this is the part where it gets messed up if you drew those tubes the wrong way, in the wrong direction. All right, so obviously that doesn't look quite how we want it to look. Lower the tension for both the top and bottom object connections to about 20. You can play with that to try to make it look nice, but you see that already looks a whole lot nicer than it did before. Um, we're going to have it start at 0. You see this section right here is starting at 10% and it's ending at 90%. We're just going to make it 0 and 100. We're going to increase the cycles. That's the number of the little ribs. Let's make that about 10. And we'll leave that diameter at -20. That's the inner diameter part. All right, so down here with the round hose, the diameter, this should match up with the outer diameter of the straw. So we made the straw radius was 13, so the diameter would be 26. Let's go ahead and make that 26. And then let's increase the number of sides to make it more round. All right, that looks good. Okay, so that pretty much finishes up the straw and the with the hose connecting. So let's get everything lined up now. Click on the longer stem of the straw. I'm going to click on align. Then we're going to click on the cup here. And that's going to move the straw to the cup. The first object you click on is the one that moves. The second object you click on is the one that stays. So we're going to line up the X and the Y, center to center. So that's going to center it on the plane. And I'm going to hit apply. And I'm going to close that. Oops, I should have hit OK. Let's do that again. Align, cup, center, center, X and Y, not Z. And hit OK. I'm going to drag this up so that it's coming out of the top of the cup. And click on my hose. I'm going to drag that so that it's closer to the rest of the straw. I can also rotate this hose I'll click E. That's the rotate shortcut, and I can kind of rotate it outward so that it's facing out as if somebody is trying to drink out of it. Go back to W, move that up a little bit, and that pretty much is what we're looking for with the drinking cup and the straw. And you can play around with this. I can make that longer or shorter, make the holes longer or shorter if you need to. Don't forget to add a background to your scene, and you can change these colors to anything that you want them to be, or add materials to those objects.